What's going on, Knuckleheads? GCam Gaming here with another LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed video for you. And today, I am going to be reviewing a chilling new team that just got a few reworks that might be freezing their way into the meta. That is right, I'm talking about the Chill team. Right, so we actually have some solid options for the Chill team. Right, so the basis of your whole team is kind of built around Yeti, because Yeti is a big damage doer. If you are getting dizzy on folks, you can get Yeti doing upwards of 10k hits on people. He's also the main taunter slash tank, which is tough to be an attacker and a taunter on a team, but he definitely is the cornerstone backbone of this team. After Yeti, I would say probably Aurora is a key part of this team, especially if, like in this game that we're looking at right now, you're running the Ice Glider. Aurora is going to be able to do a lot of reviving, and that alone could really help you maintain a defensive spot in Arena if that's how you want to use this team for. And then you have Zane. Zane, I've done many videos on Zane before. Really great all-around attacker, very diverse, puts the dizzy out there, puts vulnerable on people, has an AoE. He can really slap. I love the way that Zane hits. And then we have just freshly reworked, we have Kelvin and Commander Cold. And they kind of offer this damage immunity thing going on, which really can help. So basically, Kelvin can kind of put this damage reduction onto, say, Yeti, and once Yeti gets, I think it's below 30% or 35 or 50%, Cold can turn that into damage immunity. I've actually used that in a couple games and had a couple turns where I had characters taking 0 damage, so I went undamaged for 2 turns in some games. Not necessarily with this team. I think I did it with, it was Kelvin, Cold, and Locust on a space team, and it was just really awesome to do. And the Chill team also kind of offers a lot in terms of sets. They have the Ice Station Odyssey, which is a newer set, and the Ice Glider. We're going to look at a lot of footage today and kind of see which one we think is going to be the better choice for them. I'm going to say a lot of people are talking about Ice Station Odyssey. It's not fully 5-starred yet, so people don't have it maxed. I know that what I heard was they were using tier 3 or tier 4 set tools to max that out, so that kind of deters me from using it, especially that I just think that Ice Glider is, honestly, I just think it's a better set, especially when you have the Aurora just chaining revives. You're going to see in this match, pretty much looked like the Chill team was down the whole time, but thanks to Aurora and the Arctic Glider and just constantly bringing people back, the team was able to make a full comeback. That is insane, right? That was an insane match. So what we're looking at is a lot of stall tactics, because obviously if you're using Aurora and Ice Glider, you can definitely stall out a game. But this next match, we're actually going to see how they do against that same Ninjago team, but with Ice Station Odyssey. So that first match we kind of looked at as I was doing the intro was Chill versus Ninjago. They got the dub, but it was not neat at all. So let's see what they do with the Ice Station Odyssey, which kind of definitely adds a little more to Commander Cold. It gives him immunity to like disarm and some things. But I feel like losing that Aurora revive kind of hurts. So the one thing I notice is Kelvin's AoE heal doesn't go off much. Obviously, you're not going to see it not going off right now because they don't have payback going. But even when I use Kelvin, I'm noticing her passive heal just doesn't proc enough to really make an impact on the game. So it seems like a pretty even match. But Master Wu was able to get his ultimate off, and that pretty much cripples teams. So the thing with Ninjago is you have to be able to get around their stealth within the first couple turns before Wu gets his ultimate off. And the Chill team just does not have the ability to do that. Right, so once you get to Kai's ultimate, it's pretty much going to be GG. And the Chill team doesn't really have a chance against Ninjago with Ice Station Odyssey. With the Ice Glider, they're able to kind of ride it out, which is great. But with the Ice Station Odyssey against Ninjago, that just ain't it. So the next one we're going to look at our chill team with, of course, the Arctic Ice Glider. And we're going to go up against a pirate team. So everybody knows pirates are the main meta right now, even if it's just a mix like this team of pirate spooky. But I'm going to call it a pirate team because it has Redbeard, and Redbeard was supposed to be hard countered by Kelvin and Cold. And I'm just, even on this team that's not, it's only 2 Buccaneers, I'm just not seeing him being shut down. And it's just not happening for me. So the thing about Kelvin's passive that I really want to talk about is it synergizes with counterattacks and bonus attacks, and it gives 5% healing, and there's like a 65% chance every time there's a bonus attack or counterattack made. Great. 5% is really not a lot of healing. It's a little bit. If it was proccing 100% of the time, then yes, I think 5% is fine. I feel like 5% is really low, especially that 65% doesn't proc as much as you think it is going to. And one of the reasons is chill is all about inflicting dizzy as a debuff. So when that dizzy is inflicted, units don't counterattack anymore. So if they don't counterattack, her passive is pretty much useless if it's not proccing off that counterattack. So a couple things that I'm noticing looking at these first 3 battles here is chill really struggles against stealth, right? They don't have a good way of getting around stealth. These are autoed, so these are, I don't think that she's actually playing these out. Shout out to Tibster for the footage. So perhaps if you're a little more strategic with the damage reduction and the damage immunity, you can kind of make this team a little more useful. But if a team can't function on auto, then honestly that means they're not, the AI is not functioning that well either, and they're not going to be good on defense. What I do like about chill is if you run them with the Ice Glider, you do have a shot to kind of run the clock out on some people. And I believe this match that we're looking at right now, this is going to be a timeout. So she's on offense and she's going to lose. But this is a pretty high-powered offensive team. And if you can, basically, if you can run this team out 5 minutes and you're on defense, you're in a good spot because you're not going to fall a lot. So what I'm looking at right now in the chill team is a team that possibly does have the longevity to be a good defensive team. On offense, they really just can't get it done. Even in that first match we looked at against the Ninjago team, it was really just they kept running it, and were able to chip away at Ninjago. Now, this team definitely doesn't lack offense because, like I said, Yeti can hit and Zane can hit, so they have 2 attackers. I think the main issue that we're looking at with the chill team is the same issue you're going to see with Princess Storm and Yeti anytime you have them with a team. They're taunting attackers, and you really don't want your attacker getting attacked. And especially that it's the only taunter, it honestly, it makes Yeti easier to kill. And that is not a good thing. They do have, when they're using Aurora's heal, they can get debuff immunity, but they don't really have any way to cleanse debuffs. And against a pirate meta, debuffs are definitely going to tear you apart, especially against somebody like Master Wu, who's just puts the most devastating debuffs on people. So they don't really have a way to cleanse debuffs. They don't have a consistent heal. They have Aurora's single target heal, which is great. But even on Bucks, when I'm running Bart for a single target heal, I still got Redbeard's AoE heal, and I still got Wu's AoE heal to kind of keep everybody else healthy, while I can use that single target to keep my big guys alive. With Aurora, and I've noticed this on other teams I've used Aurora with, it's hard to have her as the only one with a heal. Obviously, she could be your main healer, and she does a great job of that, especially with the revives and everything, and with the Ice Glider and the buffs that it gives. And the Ice Glider, because she gains HP back whenever buffs are gained, it does give her a lot of longevity with the Ice Glider, so she's definitely a little tougher to kill. But if you don't have that other, usually a smaller AoE healer kind of with the team, just keeping everybody in it, it does become pretty easy to get worn away. Again, we're looking at this squad. The clock is ticking here, and that's it. All they're able to do is kind of run the clock to 0, and that's a spooky Buccaneers team. So that is a really, that's a solid meta team. So the fact that this team can kind of play defense against that is a plus. So if you have a lot of chill units, or you like the chill squad, definitely think about using them as a defensive team. Because if you can find somebody that's a weaker team to pick off to kind of hold your last spot, they definitely can run the clock out, and you're going to have headaches anytime you're dealing with an Aurora Ice Glider team. Now, another thing I noticed in this match, they're using the Ice Station Odyssey. Tibster only has it at 3 stars, so she doesn't even have it at 4 stars yet. Most of us only have it at 4 stars, so we haven't seen a 5-star Ice Station Odyssey yet. I like the set on paper. I'm just not really a huge fan of what it does in person. And I'm going to kind of go over that set with you right now. Let me pull it up, and let's kind of go over that set a little bit and talk about what it does. Because I think we're already kind of familiar with the Ice Glider. And I want to go over Ice Station Odyssey because I haven't really done a full video on that. So one of them gives 20% speed to chill heroes, which is great. It makes everyone on the chill team faster. Speed is always a good thing, especially when you're talking about cooldowns with Aurora. And all other heroes have their defense increased by 10%. So nobody's getting that 10% increase to defense. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Space heroes get 20% speed. So, what's it called? Commander Cold and Kelvin are getting the speed. Chill heroes have their skill increase, which is also relatively big, because with the skill increase is going to come more Dizzy, and Dizzy is really where you're getting a lot of the damage from, especially from Yeti. They also have Brain Freeze, so whenever they inflict a stun or Dizzy on a foe, they have a 65% chance to inflict damage over time. Just another way to get a little bit of extra damage. I don't love damage over time. I don't think it's a great debuff, but it's another debuff. I like it on Pirates because it's another debuff, and they get, buffs from having more debuffs. You don't really get that on Chill. You're kind of just getting a crappy debuff. They also have orbital targeting, so whenever an Ice Planet hero, so the 2 space guys, use their special ability, each hero has a 30% chance to gain accuracy up 1 for a turn, and has a 40%, and each foe has a 40% chance to lose stealth. So as we saw, Chill does a little bit better against Ninjago, but even when they use the Ice Station Odyssey against Ninjago, they got their booty whipped. So even with that chance to kind of take stealth off, you're only getting it from Commander Cold and Kelvin, and yes, they're going to use their special abilities a lot. It seems like too little too late. And then I do like the Cold-Blooded passive. Whenever a chill hero attacks a foe with Dizzy, there's a 40% chance to convert all stat and heal-based buffs to their debuff equivalent. So up to a maximum of 3 buffs. And the target's pep is reduced by 15%. So again, the video footage we're looking at doesn't have a full 5-star maxed out Ice Station Odyssey. I think they'll definitely be better with it, but just looking at the footage, they're not stacking up to the Bucks, to Ninjago really, or to the Spooky, to any combination of those. They just really don't stack up. Some good things about the team, though, and I'm going to kind of go around and highlight some things. Yeti's basic, right? There's a 70% chance to inflict Grit Down for 2 turns, and there's a 50% chance to do a bonus attack, so he can get basically a whole second bonus attack going there. So that double damage is really nice. And then the Abominable Snowman is amazing. Deals 150% damage to a target foe. 50% bonus damage if the foe has 1 or more debuffs. If the foe has Grit Down, also inflict max health down for 2 turns. So if they have a debuff, which we're hoping is going to be Dizzy, he's doing 200% damage on this, and he definitely hits pretty hard with that. And on top of that, he deals 100% bonus damage to foes inflicted with Dizzy. And whenever a chill hero attacks a foe inflicted with Dizzy, that hero increases their pep by 10%. So, if he does his basic and gets the bonus attack, he just did 2 times 200% damage, did 400% damage to an enemy on a basic. Right? On his special, if they are inflicted with Dizzy, we are looking at 300% damage from Yeti. Yeti can slap. The downfall of Yeti is that he is getting hit so much because he is the taunter. He needs to be hiding behind a taunter or under stealth or something where he can just focus on hitting people because he doesn't hit when he's dead. He also has an amazingly cool ultimate. 120% damage to all foes. All foes inflicted with Dizzy are stunned for a turn. And they're also inflicted with Debilitate. All foes not inflicted with Dizzy have 100% chance to be inflicted with Debilitate. The problem with that ultimate is he doesn't ever get it off. Right? It's just a problem that he's not getting the ultimate off. It's hurting him. It's just... This team is built around Yeti. And if Yeti dies, there's not much they can do. And you can't just keep reviving him because the revive is inconsistent of who it's picking. Anyway, that's all I got for you today, Knuckleheads. Please remember to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that little bell for some notifications. And as always, remember to knuckle up.
She blocked me on Instagram, Snapchat, I don't give a damn about that. I can see your face, still feel the same. I don't feel the need to forget your name.